Well, you know, I like to reflect on a lot of the words of my trainer, Ben Getty. And Ben Getty told me when I was 14 years old that I was a champion and that I had the heart of a champion. So we already knew that I was a mean mamma jamma and that I can take some damage. I've been hurt before in the ring. I've been hurt in sparring. I've been hurt worse than what you guys seen. But the world got to see me take a devastating body shot, and they got to see me take that like a champion should take a body shot. It did hurt. Mike Tyson called boxing the pain game. I experienced some pain in the 5th round. We recovered from that pain, and we dealt our own pain to Luis Collazo. After the first half of the 6th, I went right back into work, caught him with some big punches. I cut him with a left hook, not with a headbutt, with a left hook towards the end of the 6th round, and I continuously hit him with left hooks and right hooks. In the 7th round, he ran into a lot of big punches and took big damage in the 7th round, and he quit on the stool.
Do you think Floyd will fight beyond his fight in September? That he's not going to retire?
I don't think he's going to retire on an Andre Berto. I never assumed that he was going to retire. The one thing that is up is his Showtime contract. Just because a singular contract is up does not mean the fighter's career is over. It is always going to be optional for Floyd how many more steps, how many more fights he really wants to go, how long he wants to journey on in the world of boxing throughout his later years.
Do you have any sense that he might face you if he does continue to fight, beyond into next year, that you're on his radar as a possible guy that he might take on?
Well, let's keep talking about it and try to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I think I've come to many conclusions watching Floyd for the past 3 years, and especially dissecting their comment that Ellerby came out saying that Keith Thurman is not on the list, right? I'm not on the to-do list. So what I've come to acknowledge is that Floyd Mayweather is in a very special position in his career where he has more power than any other fighter in the world of boxing, and he understands that and he uses that power to the best of his ability. Has he technically announced his opponent yet? No. No, technically it hasn't been fully announced. Why? The fight's only weeks away, because that puts stress under whoever he is fighting to stay ready, even though it's an unannounced event. You see what I'm saying? So he's using everything to his power, and he's making America watch what I call right now, it's called the money show. Let's watch Money spend his money on a Rolls Royce, on a Bentley. Let's watch Money go to the strip club. Let's watch Money walk around with a bag of money and go buy some shoes. Whatever he wants to do, America's going to watch. It's called the money show. So right now, at the end of his career, he's making more money than any fighter has ever thought was possible in the world of boxing. And to me, that is his goal. That's why he nicknamed himself Money. He's focused on the money, and he wants to make history. Not in the way I want to make history, not in the way that many fighters want to make history, but he wants to make history on numbers and numbers alone. So once again, enjoy the money show. I wouldn't pay for the next fight, but that's on you.
What would you do differently?
What's your opinion on that?
I have a mixed view with the Berto fight. I understand a lot of people say Berto doesn't deserve the fight, but I remember once upon a time when Berto was one fight away from a Floyd Mayweather fight. And it dates back all the way back to when Andre Berto, see, Berto's a dear friend of mine. I dedicate a portion of my skills and my talent to sparring with Andre Berto when I was 14, 15, 16 years old. He has helped me be the fighter that I am today. So I have great respect for Andre Berto. And I remember when Berto was supposed to fight Sugar Shane Mosley, and then the earthquake happened in Haiti, and he canceled the fight so that he can go help his people in Haiti, which was a great thing to do as a human being, but not a great thing to do as a business, from a business standpoint. And he had the Victor Ortiz fight. Victor Ortiz beats Berto, and then what happens to Victor Ortiz? He gets a Floyd Mayweather fight. Berto makes a comeback. He beats Zavik and gets a world title again. Then Berto fights Robert Guerrero. Robert Guerrero beats Berto, and what happens to Robert Guerrero? He fights Floyd Mayweather. So I clearly remember when Andre Berto was one step away from a Floyd Mayweather fight. So that to me is a little bit of my perspective on this fight. And if this fight happens, I have some interest in it from my heart, from another fighter that I grew up with, and I'll be in his corner.
Who's Keith?
If the fight doesn't happen now with Mayweather, obviously Mayweather, he's doing something else in September.
unless you have something you're not telling us. But what do you want to do now? I mean, you just fought a couple of weeks ago. What are you looking to do towards the end of the year?
I'm looking to really sit down and get a real nice phone call conversation with Al Heyman, and just looking forward to making something happen that's worthwhile. At this point, financially, everything's almost worthwhile right now. I'm in a beautiful position in my career, but outside of that, you guys know that as a fighter, I hold a certain level of pride, and I can only deal with so much of the politics. So I would like to make something that's meaningful on my behalf, and meaningful for the fans as well before this year ends. I think the Guerrero fight was a great opener this year. The Collazo fight was a so-so fight, and I would like to end with a great ender. So possibly Amir Khan, possibly Kell Brook. Shawn Porter just won a fight with Adrian Broner. There's a lot of options, but I'm actually a little interested in mixing it up with them UK boys, those mates over there, and see how they throw blows.
Why do you think, Floyd? Why do you think?
What would be the problem with going overseas, fighting Kell Brooks, who refuses to come here and defend against his local boys?
It's simple.
He's supposed to be negotiated with Bam Bam Rios.
Okay.
So I don't know, understand that.
Yeah. Well, see, if you ask Keith Thurman what the problem is, to Keith Thurman, there is no problem. You know what I'm saying? I'll fly anywhere and handle my business. You know what I'm saying? We don't look for 12-round fights anyways, and me and Kell Brook would be a great fight. Would it sell better over there? Would it sell better over here? I don't know. How much interest does Al have going over there? Kell already came over here and fought Shawn Porter. He says he has interest in fighting me. Does he have enough interest to come fight me on American soil? He still is a champion in his prime, and I'm a young champion myself. So we definitely have time to make that fight happen, and it's one that I look forward to happening if it happens this year or next year.
Keith, when we were in Vegas, you were talking about fighting. Mayweather was saying that he wants you to fight Errol Spence. Has anything happened since then, or is that just talk?
I mean, that's complete talk. He threw it in the mix so that we can stop talking about Keith Thurman versus Floyd Mayweather. It's called, trying to get the monkey off his back. You know what I'm saying? It's more like a gorilla with these hands, But Errol Spence is a great, talented young man. From my perspective, he's exactly where I was 3 years ago. When I first opened up on HBO, he had this nice little come out on NBC. Then he wants to call out one of the top up-and-coming welterweights in the welterweight division. With all the welterweights in the welterweight division that Errol Spence could call out, he wants to call out Keith Thurman? Uncle Floyd Mayweather told him to do it. Yes, Uncle, no problem. I'll do what you ask, But whenever that boy deserves an actual title shot against a real champion, I'll be here, and I'll be willing to give him that title shot.
Why do you think Floyd hasn't put you on that list, that short list of guys that he wants to face?
I mean, it's why does the king, chop off people's heads? You know what I'm saying? Because he can. At the end of the day, he has so much power. The networks don't have the gusto. They love the money he brings in. They love the revenues. His numbers are beyond any other fighter's numbers. You know what I'm saying? So everyone says, yes, sir, Mayweather, sir, Floyd, sir, we love you, sir. Whatever you want to do, sir. They accommodate Floyd. And as long as they're going to keep doing that, first off, we know that they're accommodating Floyd as soon as they anointed him with the super title. I mean, I'm the realest fighter you guys are going to see in a very long time, because I don't mind talking about boxing for the way that it is. There's beautiful things about the sport of boxing, and there's ugly things about the sport of boxing. And the second they made the shift and they anointed him with the super WBA title, I talked to somebody, might have been somebody in this room, who had to tell me that I'm now the current champion of the WBA, regular champion. What's a regular champion? Because there's a super champion out there? Okay, so what's a super champion? I had to Google this stuff. I don't know what a super champion is. You know what I'm saying? So within the first paragraph of reading what a super champion is, it clearly states that the super champion is not obligated to fight any mandatory fighters. And everybody know the day that I beat Chavez, Diego Chavez. When I beat Diego Chavez, I became the WBA interim world titleist, which made me the #1 contender for whomever was holding on to the WBA world title, which it went from Paulie Malignaggi to Adrian Broner to Marcos Maidana to Floyd Mayweather, and stuck with Floyd Mayweather. 4, 5, 6 months go by and they anoint him the super and give me the regular, so that he never had to hear the words, "Are you going to fight your mandatory contender, Keith one-time Thurman?"
Did you ever make an overture to them to try and put together?
I did. I talked to the dude who is affiliated with the WBA and their sanctioning body, and I said, when are you going to force the mandatory? When are you going to force the mandatory? The #1 contender deserves a shot at whomever holds that title, and the title holder was Floyd Mayweather. And I asked, when are you going to enforce the mandatory? And I technically got no clear answer.
Why not fight Errol stylistically? Because you've metamorphosed stylistically into like a puncher, straight up puncher, and you've evolved as a boxer. So where are you trying to be stylistic? Are you trying to be versatile? Are you trying to be more of a boxer? How are you approaching your craft?
I definitely want to be versatile. I want to be like, I don't want to just be a Rubik's Cube, which is already hard to solve, right? But I want to be the guy solving the Rubik's Cube. So that means if we have 3 rounds, and within those 3 rounds, you are showing me difficulty, right? He's moving a lot. I got to cut the ring off a little bit more. He's ducking down, like I dropped Quintana with that body shot in round 1, right? But as soon as he got back up, he got on his bike heavy, right? And then he was ducking down real low and doing awkward things, making it hard to hit him with clean punches. It took a few rounds. I had to solve that puzzle, and we solved it within three rounds from the first round. It got stopped in the 4th round, you know? And that's the kind of fighter that I'm trying to be. Round by round, I'm gonna break you down mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm gonna solve the problem that you're trying to present to me, and you know, I'm gonna present a problem to you that, you know, in a KO fashion is most likely gonna be unsolvable. You might want to go back to the drawing board and just take a rest.
Hey Keith, why not fight Errol Spence and then get on TV on the undercard and say, hey, tell the world that, hey, this guy is ducking me.
Hold on. Let's be. First off, why are you acting like there's any benefit in fighting Errol Spence when he has fought nobody? So the only hype behind Errol Spence is the words that came out of Floyd Mayweather's mouth himself.
Right.
See what I'm saying? He's not in the top 10. He's probably not even in the top 25. Wherever he is, you know, I mean, he's coming up, but I mean, he keeps fighting these 1-week replacements, and he hasn't fought nobody. And you want Keith one-time Thurman, who's been working hard for 3 years, fighting everybody that they throw in front of me, to look down at the young buck? You want me to look down there and just prove to you that this fish, just because Floyd wants to grab a balloon, blow on it, and puff him up real big, I can pop that balloon quick, you know? But let's be honest and let's be real. 1, he does not deserve the fight. They're trying to say I don't deserve the fight with Floyd, but let's be real honest. I deserve the fight with Floyd more than Errol Spence deserves a fight with Keith one-time Thurman, okay?
You've heard all your sing-alongs and jokes about you. You're sometimes Thurman, you're not worthy. Is that a guy you're looking at going, I want him because he's a name, he gives me money, he's a guy I can become a bigger star outside of the
He's a great fight. He's a great fight for the name. He's a great fight for the fans. There's plenty of people that think Amir Khan has all the skills and talent to expose Keith one-time Thurman. So let's take care of that. You know what I'm saying? And let's be real. Let's be honest. Amir Khan has more to offer than Errol Spence. What does he have to offer? Absolutely nothing.